Is your tummy grumbling? Your stomach empty? I don't know if you've eaten yet, but I'm going to feed you regardless, so open wide because here comes the airplane. Surprise! We're feasting on a delicate cuisine of more Sniper Wolf drama. A nutritious part of every complete meal. It's been 4 weeks since the doxing of Jack's films, and since then I've made like 2 follow-ups because it's just been this snowball that's turned into an avalanche of dog shit that continues to develop. She's a Darman star, so to put it in Darman terminology so we're all on the same page, this is what happens in the dark coming to light. Before getting into the newest situation revolving around her, I'll just go ahead and give you a little follow-up to the previously on Dragon Ball Z developments. So it's been 3 weeks since the last time I talked about it. That was when she made an apology, which she misspells Jack's film's name in multiple times, which showcases a clear lack of giving a fuck about it. And then also, it was when YouTube weighed in saying that they're going to temporarily suspend her monetization. They didn't specify the length of time, but I'll just go ahead and tell you it's been 3 weeks now, and she is still demonetized from everything I can see. Going in on incognito mode, turning off ad block, going in on mobile, there are no ads playing on her main channel videos. So it seems that they still are slapping her down there in the old piggy bank. And if I'm being honest, like a fork in an electrical outlet, I am shocked. I cannot believe that she's still demonetized. I thought for sure it would only last a week, maybe 2 weeks as things start to blow over, and then they just secretly flip that switch back on and monetize it. They haven't. It has been 3 weeks, and she is still not monetized. Now this does kind of lead into a subject people were talking about quite a bit a few weeks back, where Sniper Wolf found a way to circumvent this by uploading old content onto another one of her channels, which at the time was monetized. It was this channel, and from my understanding it is no longer monetized. I also went on incognito mode, fucking full raw, no rubber, no ad block, anything at all, went on the channel, and there's still no ads. So it seems like that did get demonetized, if it ever was monetized in the first place. And this led to a whole new can of worms being opened about whether or not Sniper Wolf is ban evading, which violates another one of YouTube's policies, since she got demonetized on her main channel, and in order to keep making money off content, she posted it on another one. And of course, it is very interesting that the last upload there was 3 weeks, even though it was consistent up until that point, meaning probably when it got demonetized, she stopped doing it. So personally, I'll weigh in on that quickly. I don't think that's ban evading by the actual terms of service with YouTube. Is it scummy? Absolutely. But she didn't get away with it. They did act quickly in demonetizing it, at least from what I can tell. So I don't think she's going to be like punished for that in any big way. They're just going to continue to keep her demonetized, which again is a mind-boggling thing. I thought that was all just going to be a bunch of lip service, a bunch of hoo-ha nonsense from YouTube, like, oh yeah, no, we're taking real action, we're very serious about this. No more ads for 12 hours. But no, I mean, it has been a decent chunk of time. I mean, like, relatively speaking. I don't remember how long Logan Paul was demonetized for after the Forest incident, but like, it has been a lot longer than I thought they would do. And I really feel like it's not because they wanted to. They probably did fully plan on this being a very short punishment, like a very tiny slap on the wrist. But Sniper Wolf finds drama more often than bees find flowers to pollinate. Like, just like a fart in a car, she can't escape it. Like, she keeps falling into more and more controversy. So that brings us to the most recent thing that's happening right now, where she is being accused of basically stealing her whole format. So Nerd City made a video covering this and even interviewing the person that Sniper Wolf has been accused of copying from. Her name is Azzyland. I do think it's worth mentioning that Azzyland seems to want to just highlight Sniper Wolf's hypocrisy and history of being a hypocrite, less so accusing her of stealing her original works or anything. She's more so trying to focus on like how hypocritical it is that she would take some of the stances she does, even noticing all of what she's done, which gets brought up in the video, as well as a lot of other things that have surfaced from it. And this kind of blew up into a pretty big story because also prior to this, she was accused of faking her gameplay back when she was making gameplay videos, and that was a whole other huge pile of drama that I never even bothered to talk about because it was so many moving parts to it. I swear to God, to cover all the controversy she's been in, would be a video longer than Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it'd be like a really complicated thing to even dive into the meat and potatoes of. You'd end up writing an entire book that's more difficult to decipher than the Silmarillion from Tolkien. Like, it is a lot. It's a ton. So I'm just going to focus on like the most recent ones here, but there is a whole history of it when it comes to like fake videos and videos that she's tried to bury in the past, which leads more people to believe, Azzyland here, that Sniperwolf might have also just stolen from her too, because this wouldn't be the first time potentially. But anyway, let's get into it just a bit. Interestingly enough, and I hope you're sitting down, because if you're standing up, it's going to knock you over, she's already responded to these claims, which is like 10 times faster than she responded to the Jax Films doxing situation, which just gives you a little peek into her psyche and how twisted she views things and what her priorities are, where compromising an entire family's safety, nothing, shouldn't even really warrant an apology whatsoever. Big old nothing burger with a side of french fries. Call the wambulance, you little baby. What are you crying about, huh? Get over it. She even went on to make jokes about it, like on her Instagram story. Her sister came out and said, like, does he not know how to fight? Like, so clearly she didn't take that seriously at all. But this, being accused of copying TikTok reacts, oh, it's go time. Now she's on the front lines, ready for war in the trenches. So she posted a response to it. She quote tweeted this Dexerto article that says, Sniperwolf has been accused by fellow YouTuber Azzyland of copying her content, stealing her presenting style, inciting harassment from fans, and lying with fake evidence to cover her tracks. Just kind of going over the bare bones of what the accusations are, where they compare thumbnails, they compare the content itself, and even like some of the things they talk about during the reacts. And Sniperwolf then says, I have a backup of videos and screenshots before she changed the thumbnails to make it look like I copied her. I have proof she copied my thumbnails, SEO, the way I speak, the jokes I make. The way you're trying to manipulate this is fraud. And you will be hearing from her lawyers, I'm sure. What an incredible case that would be. Oh, that would be a real page-turner to read that. To me, that sounds like a lawsuit that has all the makings of an iconic classic, like the Billy Mitchell lawsuit against Cartoon Network because an episode of the regular show made him look stupid. So I'm curious to see if she actually does try and go like a legal route here in this situation. She then continues saying, the fact that you can just go on a video and lie about everything is insane to me. And then she shows some side-by-side comparisons of their videos and thumbnails and titles to showcase the similarities and accuse her of actually being the nefarious villain that's copied Sniperwolf. She drops some more evidence from the case files here, saying I have a screenshot of you uploading the same video as me minutes after I upload multiple on occasions. And then the example she gives is Sniperwolf uploaded 22 minutes ago, Creative People on another level, and Azzyland uploaded 12 minutes ago, so 10 minutes after that, with Creative People who are on another level. A community note then came out of nowhere with a big steamin' revelation that said, this doesn't prove anything. The videos cited for evidence only have a similar title and don't contain the same thumbnail or clips, 1 and 2. Both Azzyland and Sniperwolf have created videos with almost the same title before, showcasing that this isn't exactly the slam dunk she thinks it is. It doesn't even use the same clips, only the title is the same, and there's other examples of similar titles being shared between them. At the end of the day, it's TikTok reacts. It's like the simplest thing ever. There's probably like 10 other YouTubers that have this exact same format and style that may have even preceded them. It's something that tons and tons of YouTubers will just shit out. But I'm not here to really dive into the quality of the content. It's more so the claim and all of the evidence presented for it. And based on everything in the Nerd City video, as well as a couple of other things that have been revealed, it really does seem like Sniperwolf directly tried to copy from Azzyland in quite a few aspects, even outside of just like thumbnails and all of that, and at the very least drew huge inspiration from it, if I'm going to be extremely charitable and generous. There are a ton of similarities, an outrageous amount for it to just be a coincidence in my opinion, but I guess I can't say for certain who stole from who here, because again, the content is something that so many others on the platform are constantly pumping out. But again, the evidence that is available does seem to indicate Azzyland was the victim of Sniperwolf stealing from her content, and then Sniperwolf kind of started a lot of bad blood between them because of it. Like, it seems like there were cases of her instigating fights and like trying to weaponize her fans to like say, you know, Azzyland's a doppelganger that's stealing from me, this and that, copying my homework and whatever. Yeah, that's just kind of the whole situation boiled down into its bare bones here, the bare necessities. And some people are wondering if YouTube's going to step in again and punish her further. I highly doubt it. But like I mentioned earlier, I think this is a contributing factor for why she's staying demonetized, because she keeps getting into situations like this, and YouTube knows if they flip on the monetization now, there's going to be a ton of eyes on it, and it's going to cause them problems as well. So they keep just, you know, gripping on tight and waiting for things to blow over before they turn her monetization back on. That's my little game theory, but again, to address that question, I really don't think YouTube's going to do anything here. I don't really even know if there is like a violation of a policy YouTube has if you're taking like content ideas from others and doing it yourself. Like, maybe it could fall under spam content potentially, which is something YouTube does take stances against occasionally, but even then I highly doubt they would use that against SSSniperwolf. So I don't think there's going to be anything that comes from this on YouTube's side, but it's once again another huge hit to SSSniperwolf's already tarnished reputation, and the drama just keeps unfolding around her. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a little update here on everything going on with that, and that's about it. See ya.